so we can get a little bit more widening for the synth. For the second vocoder, I'm gonna pitch this up to 24. I'm sorry, 36. And for my unison, I want to take the dry wet down to about 16 and the detune down to about 20. For our final vocoder, I want to turn this to, oh, there's one other thing for all the vocoders is that switch them to EQ. So for the final EQ, for the final vocoder, we're going to turn up the pitch to 48 on this one and give it more crispiness. There we go. We have a little bit more impact with that. So for the digi racers, I'm just going to leave that as is because I don't mess with anything else. Like I said, I'm going to put that in the download below, the description below, the information below this video. Anyways, for the subtractor, this is actually a preset you get. And let me show you. It's in Polysynths. And it should be called House Organ. I'm just going to choose the first one. That's the one we use. It has a little bit more low end. So I'm going to take the filter down to about 52. So it's not so much in your face. So the only thing I do with the synth is that I take it down 2 octaves. And that's basically it for that synth. For my final maelstrom, and to wrap this all up, we're going to take our oscillator A. I'm going to take off my mods. Turn them on. And for my filter, for my oscillator A, I'm going to take this all the way up to FM bass. There we go. I'm going to take the motion all the way down. And for the index, I'm going to take that to 4. And for the index for the mod, I'm going to take that to about 12. Just to give it more wobble here and there. And for the motion, I'm going to take that to about 11. So now that we have that, I just want to make sure that my filter B, the frequency is all the way at 0, and it's set to a negative comb filter. For my shaper, I'm going to turn that on and make sure the routing is turned on, and make sure oscillator B, make sure that's routed to filter B. So for my shaper, I'm going to take this to quant. It's the only synth that has that saturation. So for my filter A, I want to take this to a negative comb, and I'm going to take the frequency down a bit and turn up the resonance to about 25, about a quarter. And for the resonance for my filter B, I'm going to take that up a little bit more than a quarter, so about 44 for that. Okay, so the final thing that we need to do is just wrap up this synth. So for my pulverizer, I'm going to use the high pass setting. So I'm going to set it to high pass. And I'm going to set the frequency all the way down to 126. So it's a little bit more grunge. I like that a lot. Anyways, I'm going to turn up the... Actually, that's it. That's all we use for the pulverizer. We don't turn up the squash because it's already loud enough. And these parameters are actually precise because they attack the synth in the frequencies we want to get rid of. So instead of deleting some of the footage, we just have the cliff notes. So I'm going to turn on my low cut. I'm going to turn on my P1. I'm going to set the frequency of the P1 to be 139.5. 139.5. There we go. And I'm going to turn the gain all the way down and the Q all the way up. And for P2, I'm going to turn that on, and I want to set that to 232.6. 232, 232, 2322. Okay. Anyways, that's probably really bad for me to do. Anyways, turn the gain all the way down and the Q all the way up. I will probably never do that again. Next, for M-Class Equalizer 2, turn on P1. We don't need to turn on low cut. It's already covered by M-Class, the first equalizer. So for my second equalizer parameter 1, I want to turn the gain all the way down. I'm sorry, the frequency all the way down, the gain all the way down, and the Q all the way up. We're just attacking these harmonics. The second one is going to be 187. 187, come on, come on. There we go. Gain down, Q all the way up. And finally, for my equalizer on my third one, we're just going to turn on P1, turn up the gain all the way, and that's it. We just leave that because we're going to basically use this to modulate it. So it's going to sound something like this. So that's basically what that's used for, is to create a little bit more excitement. So, yeah, that's the synth. The last thing we're going to do is program it. So I'm going to open up my programmer. I'm going to scroll down by using this. Go down to MEQ3. Choose for button 1. You want to make this enabled. And you want to make this 1. And you want to make this 0. Actually, I'm sorry. This should be 1 and this should be 2. We want this to be bypassed and just turned on. So other way around, I'm sorry. 2 here, 1 here. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to call this mouth on. And for rotary 1, as you guessed it, we're going to use our effect, our P1 frequency. And for the mouth on, we're going to choose, instead of button down here, button 2, we're going to choose button 1. And we're going to change this to our effect. And we're going to choose our P1 gain. We're going to leave that at -64, and we're going to take this for the max down to about 50. And we're going to call this mouth freak. So thanks for joining me, and I'll check you guys out later for another crazy synth tutorial. And thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching. Have a great, fantastic week. Be sure to tell all your friends, and peace.